Hello everyone, and welcome back to more AEW on TEW 2020. We are here, fourth week of January. We have, in our main event of our Dynamite, a World Championship Deathmatch between Pac and Jon Moxley. We start off our show of Dark, however, because we always start off on Dark, with the Wu-Tang Clan defeating Top Flight. So I just realized I forgot to change the arena again, but oh well. Cardona's very prideful after the match, grabbing a mic as Shawn Spears throws Top Flight out of the ring. He says 4 down and we're well on our way to that perfect 10. But I think we're still missing something, don't you, Shawn? Something like a manager fitting of our grade A talent. And who better than someone else who's been tossed down by the time and the fans? Leva Bates. So Leva Bates walks out to the ring, her gimmick no longer the librarian. And the Wu-Tang Clan celebrate with their new manager as it cuts to the next match. She's just bitter. Adequate rating. It's something. Georgianella that defeats Griff Garrison. Daga defeats QT Marshall. Then afterwards, Vicky Guerrero enters the ring and she says, "Excuse me, El Hijo del Vikingo. You're definitely someone who's been playing hard to get. The Latino World Order is something that you should be proud to join, but instead, you're putting us down. Well, that's your loss. Daga is one of the best up-and-coming stars in all of pro wrestling, and we're not going to let you try to take that from us. But luckily, even if you won't join us, we know of someone who really deserves to be in here, in the Latino World Order. Bandito, you've been nothing since your time with Adam Page, and we can bring you back. You better listen to us, because we'll be more than glad to get you another world title opportunity." Bandito splitting him away from Dragon Lee because Dragon Lee is going to WWE. And Vicky Guerrero trying to get him into the LWO. After this, Nyla Rose gets a bit of an upset win, defeating Chris Statlander. Bianca Corelli defeats Diamante. Miro defeats Davey Boy Smith Jr. The Best Friends defeat the Motor City Machine Guns. Ty Conti defeats Layla Hirsch. Then we have an episode of The Waiting Room with Dustin Rhodes as the guest. Britt asks why he is putting an ultimatum on all of his matches, and Dustin says, "When you've been in this business as long as I have, you need to know that there's something more than just in-ring skill. I wouldn't say I'm as good as Dragon Lee or either member of the Future, but what I can say, what I will say, I have the heart. You know that you can't get anywhere unless you give your all for each and every match. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm putting my career on the line. I'm not just going to lay down and die for anyone in this world. They will have to earn it." You will notice that Cynthia Rigo has a new picture. I have gone through, I've actually gotten more unique pictures for all of my regen people. So we might be able to see them on match cards. We might be able to, they all have their new pictures. I still need to work at probably getting a little bit better of the pictures for on here, but oh well. The Hit Squad then defeats the Good Brothers. Private Party defeat the Butcher and the Blade in our main event of Dark. That will probably end off that pretty lackluster feud. We begin our show of Dynamite, as always in the past, entire year, with Dustin Rhodes defeating Leo Lambert in his open challenge. Lambert with a nice 42. After this, Dustin is very respectful of Leo after the match, but it doesn't take long for him to get to the mic and deliver a very exhausted promo. He says, "You all didn't expect me to get even this far, huh? Well, I'm not gonna just finish off my career just yet. Now, I have a lot more left in the tank. I've offered an open challenge, I've been challenged, but now, I'm going to take the time to challenge someone myself. Jimmy Shane, next week, to begin February, we're gonna be going one-on-one in this ring." Dustin challenging a fellow member of the Nightmare family in Jimmy Shane to begin the month of February. After this, we see Kana backstage when she's approached again by Hams, Katana, and Morgan Daniels. Hams offers Kana a plushie of Mick Foley, which Kana rejects, and Hams just says, "But I want this for friend Kana. I want this to be something that friend Kana-chan can remember friend Hams by." Kana just brushes Hams aside and walks ahead before being stopped by Morgan, who just says, "Look, I know Hams is unique, But can't you just accept her friendship? She's not going to stop trying until you do. And Kana just shakes her head, walks away. Hams is sad. Kana still doesn't want to be friends with Hams or Morgan. But mainly Hams. Because Kana is mean, I guess. After this, the Queen's Court actually picks up the win when Lady Bernice pins Britt Baker with the Queen Kick. In 84 by Mayu. Good lord. Lydia with the worst with 29. A couple 30s in here. It's alright rating-wise. We did have, a lot of people who are really bad. So, I'll take it. After the match, Ashley Flair gloats at the win, and since Mayu had been taken out due to a top rope move by Lady Lydia near the end of the match, Flair gets her hand on the title and smiles, promising to the title that it will be in the hands of real wrestling royalty next week, and she leaves, more than content with her win, and the court's win, but mainly her win, in the 4v4 action. I would say short vignette plays showing highlights of recent New Japan shows. Eventually it shows that probably just in a narration, that the IWGP US Championship belongs in New Japan and that someone will come to rescue it. Then plays highlights of Will Ospreay before a match card graphic shows up of Jeff Cobb versus Ospreay at Revolution for the IWGP US title. Will Ospreay is an asshole, but he's really good in the ring. I think it would be pretty, it leaves way for more things to happen, having the IWGP US Championship. Haven't really done much with it. Now, giving a story with someone in New Japan. See how it goes. The Young Bucks then defeat Scorpio Sky and El Phantasmo, and good lord, 90 ratings by the Young Bucks. But afterwards, the rest of the AEW's Bullet Club comes out after the match, and they beat down the Young Bucks before AJ starts speaking. He says, "I see what you guys are doing. Bleach trying to pick up people to try to forget that they're the ones that ruined the Bullet Club. Well, I ain't gonna let that happen. I know one of these days I'm gonna put a fight on the line with Fergal Devitt for who really started the Bullet Club's dominance, but we all know that there's more important things at play. Kenny Omega, you killed the Bullet Club. You ruined the Bullet Club, so you know what? Since you tried to pry the hands out of the Bullet Club before, or pry the Bullet Club out of my hands before, I'm not gonna let that happen. At Revolution, me, Carl, and Doc are gonna whoop your ass alongside these two Young Bucks. Bring it on, Omega." Another match confirmed for Revolution, AJ Styles and the Good Brothers against Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. We'll see how things go from there. That ought to be a really good match. It'll mainly be carried by the Elite side, regardless of who wins. Just because AJ is past his prime, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson were never really that good. And Kenny is amazing. The Young Bucks are really good in the ring, even though I think they're kind of douchebags. Not to the level of Will Ospreay. They're just not the biggest fan of the Young Bucks, but I need to do better with story writing. And say it with me, guys. I hope that after this next pay-per-view, my next stories will be even better. Because I always, near the end of pay-per-views, I'm like, crap, I went nowhere with a lot of these. After this, MJF is in a sit-down interview with Renee Paquette, who asks about the war of words shared between him and CM Punk. He says, "A war of words? Please. This is just someone desperately hanging on to relevance for dear life, and if this is what contributes as a war, then I guess everyone in this world really is screwed, huh? Well, whatever. I get it. CM Punk wants to get back into the spotlight in a huge way. He's going to be taking on the best pro wrestler in the world. So go ahead, Punk. Entertain me at Revolution. That's all you can do anymore. It's entertain. You were never a wrestler. You aren't a wrestler. You never were. You were an entertainer. We all know how bullshit that whole CM Punk as a real fighter is. I mean, everyone knows about your UFC record, right? And I expect trailer trash like this to really eat that up. So you know what? I'm going to prove just how much of a fraud you are. So next week, I'm going to challenge someone in the UFC to fight in an MMA match right here on Dynamite. I'll prove how easy it is, Punk. Because everyone knows that at everything in life, I'm better than you. And you know it. So, this is really a feud for me to try to explore other things than just interview, backstage attack, small vignette saying, you suck. No, I don't. So, MJF going to be having an MMA fight. And it definitely won't be rigged. Nonsense. Chris Jericho then defeats Dax Harwood in a pretty short match. And after the match, Sammy Guevara comes to the ring, and he starts talking because Jericho would be exhausted. Imagine. Maybe he starts talking later on to the promo, but Sammy says, damn, the King of Lions has still got it. Honestly, I don't think Chris needs to speak anymore. He's graced everyone with a fantastic showing of wrestling prowess, taking out one of the supposed best pure wrestlers this company has, and I think that's where we really need to draw the line, Mr. Angle. You may have these Olympic-level wrestlers like Charles Betts, or these boring supposed in-ring shows like Jackson, Cash, and Zacker. Whatever other boring people you have. People need to really see something explosive, something fun, and everyone pales in comparison to Chris Jericho, the best that the world has ever seen. So week in, week out, we are going to embarrass you, Kirk Angel. Next week, it'll be Cash. Week after, who knows? But your lame excuse of a team isn't gonna do shit to the King of Lions, Chris Jericho. So yeah, Sammy Guevara just throwing down the gauntlet. Just get right at it. Chris Jericho, he needs to do stuff. He's beaten Dax Harwood. Next week, he's going to be taking on Cash Wheeler. Zack Sabre Jr. is certainly going to be involved at some point. I'll probably find something else for him to do against Kurt Angle himself, because right now my plan is for the pay-per-view to be Charles Betts as the pay-per-view match with Jericho. But we'll see how things progress from here. After this division defeat Dallas Mantello and Matt Murphy of the Papas of Pump, the Powerbomb Meteora combo. And Paul Heyman walks out after the match, Brock Lesnar at his side. He says, everyone in this company has no respect for the rules, so by God, if I need to, I will shove some of these rules into all of your thick skulls. Brody Lee, Matt Sydal, Lance Archer, all of you. Complete lack of respect for my company, my show. But I know that fans want to see the vision in action. So let's give you a bit of something to do. Matt Sydal. Brock's been looking for someone to feast on for a while, and how's about you serve as that honorable sacrifice? But here's the catch. If either Jake or Lance or anyone interferes in that match, you're fired. If you refuse this match, you're fired. If you try to walk out on the match, you're fired. I'll be glad to see just how much fun Brock has with you, Matt Sydal, and I'm sure the fans will love it too. So 3 matches already booked. For next week, we have Matt Sydal versus Brock Lesnar. We have Ashley Flair versus Mayu Iwatani, and we also have Jimmy Shane versus Dustin Rhodes. I think there was one more, but I don't remember. So yeah. Actually booking ahead. After this, Garza is sitting in his rose garden. He looks smug and arrogant as ever, but he's actually by himself. He doesn't have any other members of the garden with him. He says, love is almost in the air. The very smell of February is coming upon us, and next week begins the month of the rose. Everyone should be elated that I'm willing to offer such a wonderful treat to everyone for at least an entire month. And why, I might even extend it past that. I have so many plans in store, but I need to keep some surprises. After all, I don't want everyone knowing every last secret that your god has on hand. You'll just have to watch as I bring the greatest ratings that this company has ever seen with my month of the rose. It was mainly just something to fill up time, just between things. Get Garza at least on TV, even if he's not in person. And after this, Pac defeats Jon Moxley in the TV-style deathmatch, just because I couldn't actually run a real deathmatch because a few of my broadcasters were like, no, you can't. But oh well. Pac with a 93, very nice showing. Defense number 2 of the world title, a 79 rating. Very, very nice there. I will just say right off that, aside from, I did a few maintenance things. Wanted to wait until Revolution. Didn't decide to. So, for TNT, I've boosted up their showing in Puerto Rico and Hawaii to medium. I've also done the same for sports, or what is it? USA Network and Fox, but for Fox it was medium to big. Just so that, cause a lot of the times we're really far behind on the Puerto Rico and Hawaii ratings. Like, everyone was stuck at a 53. MJF, for example, he's at about 80 all over America, but he had 63 in Puerto Rico, 53 in Hawaii. So I've edited things there just so that we have more even across the board. It makes things a little bit simpler so that we can actually grow in size eventually, but still working on our way towards Revolution, which I hope will be really good. And then I also hope that I'll be able to follow through with having more. I'm definitely doing better with having some lower card storylines. And I think this is actually pretty good to see. Start off the show with a few of these, lower ratings, finish off strong. I think that makes sense. Maybe, try to open up a little bit stronger than a Dustin Rhodes Open Challenge because he is 52. But who knows? We'll be moving on to February as we see what Garza has in store for the month of the Rose.